My wife came up with an idea about 3 or 4 years ago. And long story short, she heard like Paul Harvey, someone talking about, it was a dentist, that's right. A dentist who wanted to make the point that candy was bad for kids' teeth. And so what he did is he made this offer and he said, we'll buy back your candy for like $1 a pound.
$1 a pound.
After you trick or treat on Halloween. So anyway, we start brainstorming and we think, what can we do with this?
And
so
how can we do that to position us,
as community leaders, right? So here's what we did. We decided to do a push and do, everyone does a Christmas party. A lot of people do stuff at Thanksgiving. There are all these different holidays. So we're thinking, what would be a different time of year to generate leads, generate traffic, and a good way to do it? So what we did is we came up with this concept of, we call it Candy for Kicks, or Kicks for Candy.
Kicks for Candy.
Kicks for Candy, sorry. So we call it Kicks for Candy. And what we did is we said, we promoted locally, and we started it out in-house and via email and just making announcements in our classes, emailed out local media, put together a press release and sent it out to local media. And we said, what we'll do is Halloween, and it fell like on a weeknight that year, so it worked good. We're going to have a drive-through trick-or-treat where people can drive through. And what we did is we connected with our sponsor, Manatech, and we gave out Manna Bears, which are fruits and vegetable bears.
You guys have all tried the Manna Bears.
You've all tried the Manna Bears. So what happens is the whole concept was we went and did research on the CDC side about childhood obesity. I mean, go look at that stuff, and it's staggering. It's staggering, okay? And so we use that as a tool, the CDC Centers for Disease Control. Go look at the statistics. And Mr. Milroy was telling me that there was a number like by
2012, 75% of Americans are
going to be
estimated to be overweight.
Right. So anyway, we looked at the statistics. Statistics for childhood obesity is staggering. It's just crazy. And the lack of activity, the poor diets. So anyway, we thought, how can we leverage this to have a good event, create prospects? We had a drive-through trick-or-treat. We had our instructors, our leadership team, and black belts dressed up, which they had fun with, right? They get out in the little trick-or-treat. Cars drove through. We handed them out stuff. We collected what information we could there, but we gave them on the treats that we gave them our information and offer to come back to class. Okay?
But guys, we had cars lined up to come drive through our parking lot. Everybody that did the drive-through, they get information about the school, they get Manna Bears, but there's people lined up. How cool does that look? We're on a really busy street. How awesome does that look for people driving by? What's going on there? These people are lined up to see what's happening at our school's team ship.
So what we did is we said, okay, now, whenever it's like 7 o'clock, I don't remember the times exactly, but at like 7 o'clock, if you'll come back to us after you've trick-or-treated and bring us your candy, for every pound of candy, we will give you 1 week of martial arts lessons for free, up to 6 pounds. Okay, let me say that again. For every pound you bring us, we'll give you 1 free week. That equates to typically 2 classes.
2 days, right.
It wasn't much to give. It wasn't much to give, but it created traffic. And so here's what happened. We had a line of people at 7 o'clock waiting to give up candy. Okay, guys? And we said, anything extra that you bring, we'll accept the donation. And so the next question, I'll get to what we did with the candy in a minute, because it's pretty cool too. So anyway, what happened is we ended up collecting that first year about 300, it was right at 300 pounds of candy. We made a deal with the air base locally, and they agreed if we would box it, they would ship it for free in boxes, and we kind of packaged it up in those boxes and made care packages for the troops overseas. So it was a multi-fold thing. Now, whenever we put in the press release that we were doing this and we put it out, so what happened?
We did a press release, and I just sent it out to our local media contacts and to our student base, just to our, everybody that we normally send out a press release to. We ended up getting 80 organizations, 80 nonprofit organizations that deal with children directly, that then took it and sent it out to all of their email bases or email databases. Then we had all of the schools. They were all that, because I sent it to them. I had counselors at schools sending it out to all of the teachers. So this put us in this was huge for our school, because it has all of these teachers, all of these counselors, all of these people with the United Way, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. You guys have heard of those organizations, right?
They're sending the information out for us.
These are sending it out for us. We're not doing it. They're doing all of that. We had a radio station come and do a remote for free because they thought it was so cool. But the thing that was really funny, the DJ was like, there's no way these kids are going to give up their candy. Whenever he saw the line out the school, he was like, wow, you guys proved me wrong. This is amazing. They were helping us with all of the actual legwork and all of the advertising and all of the marketing because they thought it was such a great idea and they wanted to be involved. One of the ways that we did it, we had it very organized the way it worked. Whenever the kids came in, we had a table set up on the front. We had a scale, we had a box. The scale, they weighed their candy. There was somebody that took this, okay, we said 6 pounds. There was a certificate here that said you are entitled to 6 weeks of Taekwondo classes at Team Chip Taekwondo centers. Now, to make this valid, you had to go over to our program director and you had to fill out your permission slip to go ahead and get started. You had to give her all of your information. So there's your lead. Then you went over and there was another table that we had made, because Chip will get to tell you what we did with it, a thank you where it was a card where all of the kids got to actually sign cards. We had like 20 of them because all of that candy, one of the things whenever I heard the thing on Paul Harvey, the dentist took the candy and he took it to the dump. Well, I thought, candy's not that great, but there's got to be something, that's a lot of money, $1,200, because this guy brought in like a bunch of candy. And all of that candy, just taking it and throw it away, that's pretty wasteful. There's something we should be able to do with it. So what did we do with it?
So anyway, we were debating that. A mom in the school made the suggestion that we talk to the base. I have a lot of military people connected to my school and our headquarters, and I said, hey, can we get it shipped? They said, we'll ship it for free. Basically, this whole thing, because it was care packages and something, guys, I have a lot of military people in my school and have had a lot of military people pass through. We're at a base that there are only 2 bases in the U.S. that have B-1 bombers. One of them is in our town. And so these guys see a lot of action. They get moved overseas a lot. They come back. And one thing they've told me a lot is guys, if you get something from home, from people at home, it's like, lot. It means a ton. And those of you that have served in the military, I'm sure you're familiar with that. It means a lot to get something that people, they care. And especially if little kids had anything to do with it. That's also very important. So it was a big win all the way around. So anyway, that first year we collected about 300 pounds of candy. We shipped it over. I'm trying to remember if we left anything out here. We got local publicity for free. We were on the news stations. Radio station came out and did a remote for free. All of this because it was serving 2 purposes. Teaching kids about being physically active and getting away from junk food and giving them a healthy alternative, and about taking what we took from them and supporting the troops overseas. You guys see that? It's a win-win all the way around. And as a business, we got to collect the contacts and create prospects. And everyone that came in and did their time, whether it was a week because they did a pound or 2 weeks or 4 or 6, every one of them stayed. Okay, guys?
And you're positioned as somebody that does something for your community. I mean, that's building the culture, building the culture of being a community leader.
I don't want to press our time too much, but here's what I'm going to do, guys. I want to kind of throw out a challenge to you guys. Last year, I have 2 small satellite schools. Our headquarters are 2 small satellites. I got a friend in Kansas, another friend in Canada, and we all joined forces on this deal. And last year, we raised over 1,000 pounds of candy.
It's 1,100.
It was 1,100 pounds. We shipped the candy over, and we gave away tons of free martial arts, and we all collected a lot of new students out of the deal. I would like for you guys to get involved with us. I think it would be nice, it would be cool, it could be really awesome.
It could be national news.
If we could collect 10,000 pounds of candy and have martial artists across the U.S. doing something in a positive light. I mean, there's potential for all kinds of very good media coverage for our industry in general. And so anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. Next week, we'll have more of the information available. We're going to be working with Mr. Oliver and Mr. Milroy on getting the stuff available to you guys on the NAPMA site on a way, and it's basically cost-free. It's a cost-free way to set yourself apart as a community leader, someone who cares about the kids, to get your program in front of tons of kids
and generate
tons of prospects for your business, guys. So there you have it.
Thanks, sir.